Hello, it's Nico with Food Cravings, and today we're making oven roasted chicken with caramelized mushrooms and onion. This is a classic dish, perfect for your weeknight meals, and today I'm going to show you my take on it. And we'll start by adding some chicken thighs to our prep bowl. Here I've already rinsed these with water and drained them. Next we'll prepare to rinse them with some lemon juice. And what that'll do is take the gamey scent out of the chicken itself. Next we'll drizzle some lemon juice all over it. Next we'll add to that some water so that we can rinse it some more. And I found that by giving it a few consecutive rinses, you take more of the scent out, so everything's nice and clean. Here we'll go ahead and drain the rest of the liquid out, and we'll go ahead and let it dry for a few moments. You could also use some doubled paper towels to pat dry. Here I'm going to hit it with some kosher salt, also known as sea salt, and we're going to work that in. Now we're going to start building our marinade by adding some cracked black pepper. And here's a pro tip, 24 clicks on this equals a quarter teaspoon. I've measured it, so I did about 50 clicks for half a teaspoon. Now we're going to hit it with some paprika. Next we're going to hit it with some dry herbs. I used my own special blend here. Next it was time to add some vinegar, but you can also use lemon juice. So I came in with a drizzle, and it was at this time that I thought of adding some freshly chopped garlic. Sometimes in baking and cooking, especially with savory dishes, you have to just feel it out. So I just dropped the garlic. Next, I thought it would be a nice combination between the paprika and garlic to add some cumin. So I did just that. After adding the cumin, paprika, salt, pepper, and garlic, along with some vinegar, it was time for me to go in and just stir that around to incorporate evenly all the flavors. And I made sure that I would rub it all around. This helps permeate the meat, and you really gotta work it in. And after all that mixing, my hands were tired, so I decided to take a quick break. It was at this time that I was hit with a wonderful idea. So I came back with some soy sauce, and I made it rain a little, making sure to cover my surface area evenly throughout. Once I was done with that, and felt that all the flavors were evenly incorporated, I transferred the chicken and the marinade into a Ziploc bag. Then as a final touch, came in with a little drizzle of olive oil. This helps with the broiling process. And here we didn't want to use an oil with a high smoking point because we didn't want to set off any smoke alarms. Here I have some portobello mushrooms, which I've cut into cubes and added to the pan. Then we'll hit it with a little salt. This will help draw out the moisture, along with a quick drizzle of olive oil to saute before we add it to our chicken. Once that finishes sauteing for a few minutes, we'll take our chicken out and set it on a wire rack so that the excess marinade can drip off. Then I decided to check on the mushrooms, and I didn't want them overly sauteed. I was looking for that level between nearly done and barely softened. Next it was time to prep the chicken for the oven by adding the sheet of aluminum foil to a baking pan, along with a nice drizzle of olive oil, before placing down our chicken pieces. And I made sure to space them out accordingly. We want them just barely touching each other before popping them into the center of a preheated oven of about 425 degrees. Halfway through the cooking process, I took it out to place the mushrooms and the onions on top, along with our previously sauteed portobellos. And you have to check it halfway to make sure that you turn it at the right time. Here you could see the skin already starting to brown nicely. Another pro tip here, it's also important when you start baking any meats to add a little bit of liquid. You could usually add water, and the juices from the meat itself will combine to form a nice stock. Next it was time to flip over the chicken pieces and place it back into the oven to finish baking. With our chicken perfectly broiled and the onions along with the mushrooms looking perfectly caramelized, I was ready to plate up. So I threw down some rice that I had made before and topped it with some chicken. Then topped it with mushrooms and onions before going in for a taste. That's Chef Nico style. And you know, no video is complete without a taste test. So I took my trusty steak knife at which point in time I cut out a piece, showing both the audience the end result and taking that little bite to taste. Oh my god, wow! It was still moist and juicy, not overcooked, completely golden brown, and the rice, it was to die for. I hope you've enjoyed our recipe for baked chicken with sauteed mushrooms and onions. Don't forget to add it to the arsenal of your weeknight meals. For more info and ingredient amounts, simply visit www.chefnico.blogspot.com. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. Thank you, and see you soon.